Alright, in today's video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to replace your dishwasher. So I'm going to pull out my dishwasher that I currently have hooked up right now. I'm going to show you how to disconnect it, and I'm going to show you how to reinstall a brand new dishwasher. This one is an LG, and this one is a Samsung. I'm going to replace them, so follow along step by step, and hope you guys enjoy this video. So the first thing that you want to do, you want to shut the power off to the actual dishwasher itself. So find your electrical panel in your house, and what you're going to do is you're going to find the dishwasher number 9, and you are going to shut off that breaker. Now you always want to double check to make sure the power is off and that you did hit the right breaker. So I'm just going to try to power this on to see if it works. Perfect. Doesn't work. Power is shut. Now we're going to pull the dishwasher. Okay, so when it comes to removing the dishwasher, there's normally two little brackets up top holding the actual dishwasher in. You could have it on the sides, but typically it's up top. So there's two Phillips head screws with the bracket right into the countertop right there where my thumb is. We're gonna back that out with the with my drill. I have two brackets right up top, and we're just gonna remove these. Super simple to take them out. Real small screws. They're normally, like I said, drilled in underneath a granite countertop or whatever kind of countertop that you have. Now the whole entire unit should just be removed. What we're going to do now, we're just going to slide the whole entire unit out of this this area, and then we're going to make our disconnects. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is once you pull it all the way out, you're going to want to see how much slack that you have in there, because you're going to have your electrical line, your water line, and your drain line. So you don't want to pull too hard so you don't hurt anything or mess anything up. You're going to kind of pivot it off to the side, and you're going to really see what's going on back there. So right here we have our number 12 or 14 wire right here. We have our drain line going to the sink, and then we have our water line. So we're going to disconnect these three and get this whole unit out of here. All right, so what I recommend removing first is the electrical line. Let's get the electric done, which is probably located underneath, and it probably goes to the front. There's a little kick plate right here that we're going to need to remove to get to that junction box. So let's do our electrical line first, then we'll move on from there. All right, so here we are at the front of the unit. We have two screws. This is the kick plate, one right here and one right here. We're going to remove them and open that up. All right, so I see two things. So here is our water line right here. We're going to disconnect that second, and here is our electrical hookup. So there's a little junction box right here. You can kind of see the wire coming in. I know it's might be a little hard for you guys to see, but I'll try to get a little closer. But we're going to open that up, and we're going to do the disconnect. All right, so there should just be one screw holding that cover plate on. We're just going to try to remove it. Might be a little easier if I use a Phillips head screwdriver than a big drill. Oh, there we go. All right, looks like I got it. Now the cover plate should open up, and it should expose all the wiring. And there it is. Like I said, make sure your power is off to your unit. As you can see, this is a little tight place for you to be working. You have your black, your white, and your ground wire. So let's remove these caps and back out that wire. Now this piece right here, this is a Romex connector. We are going to probably need to get a new one, or hopefully we can actually use the same one that we have. But if you need a new one, you can get it right at the description below. Now let's remove this. All right, now that we got the wire out, let's disconnect the water line, which is located right here. You're probably going to need get yourself an adjustable wrench so we can loosen up that fitting. Before you remove your water line, you want to make sure you shut the water off, which should be located right under the sink. All right, so grab yourself an adjustable wrench, and we're just going to loosen this up. All right, so once you shut your water line off, we're going to disconnect the water. Make sure you turn your water line off under your sink before you actually start loosening these threads, because you're going to have a big mess if you don't do that. And there it is. There's the water line. So we have the electric disconnected, the water line. Now we got to do the drain line. All right, so once you got your water line disconnected, flip it on its side. You're going to have your drain line. There's going to be a little door right here. 2 screws, 1, 2. You're going to remove that. And then your drain line's right here. You're going to have a little rubber fitting. We're going to get a pair of lineman's pliers on that. It's this hose right here, and we're going to pull it through. All right, so now luckily this is the old one, so it doesn't really matter if you damage anything, but unless if you're trying to sell it. So I'm going to remove that bracket. Now, all right, keep going. All right. Alrighty. Now the water line can finally back out. And that's it. All right, now that we have the entire unit disconnected, let's get it out of here and bring the new one in. Now, before you bring in the new dishwasher, why don't you do yourself a favor, go back there, clean everything out before you put your new one back in, because this dishwasher has been here for the last 10 years. So get in there, suck all that stuff out, clean it up. All right, now that we have the area cleaned up and an old one out of here, let's bring the new one in. All right, so on the side of the unit, this is the drain line. So I'm going to grab my drain line hose, which is back there, and I'm going to hook it up to right here. All right, so now we're gonna hook up the water line. We're gonna need this piece right here, and I'm gonna show you underneath of the dishwasher, the threads that we need to thread it onto. So right there, but what I'm gonna do first is, I'm gonna hit it with some Teflon tape. If you need to get some Teflon tape, you could just pick it up right in the description below. All right, so I found it a little easier to flip it over on its side. Depending on where your hookup is, you got to determine where your water line is for you to flip it over. But for me, it kind of opens everything up. I can see everything, so I do recommend just flipping it over. And first, what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with some Teflon. And now I'm going to connect the connector right to it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook my water line up, which is right here, to this fitting. I do need to pull the dishwasher a little closer so I can make that connection. All right, nice and tight, ready to move on to the electric. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm running the electric to the actual dishwasher itself. I still have that connector on my electrical wire. You do need this. It is required by electrical code, electrical safety, to have a connector going to a junction box. If you do need these, check it out right at the description below. But now we're going to hook up the electric and get this thing fired up. All right, so I have the dishwasher kind of tilted back just for demonstration purposes so I can show you how to wire this. As you see, I have the house wiring coming through that has the connector on the back end, and this is the wiring that, that the dishwasher has. You have your hot, your common, which is your white, and your ground wire. So let's hook these up and take it from there. All right, now we're going to put our cover plate on and we're going to be all done. All right, now that you have it all hooked up, what you should do first before you push it back and set it up in there, make sure there's nothing leaking, so go turn your water line on, which is located under your sink, and then you're going to turn your power on. All right, so I just turned my water line on. I want to check the fitting that I was tightening earlier just to see if it's leaking, and it is not, so it looks like we can move on to the electric. You can kind of see it right there. Nothing dripping, everything looks good. Now let's move on to the electric. All right, now I'm going to turn the power back on. Okay, everything looks good. Everything turned on. There's nothing dripping on the side or underneath. Electric's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this back into place, and then the last thing I have to do is put these anchors right here, and I'm going to screw it into the cabinet right above so it locks into place, so when I open up the dishwasher it doesn't pull out. All right, let's put these brackets on and we're going to screw it in directly to the cabinet. All right, as you see, I got the two brackets right there. Phillips head screw, I just started it. And then I'm just going to screw it into place so it's more secure and the dishwasher won't come out. Okay, see, the only thing we have left to do is put the strike plate on the bottom to kind of cover up that hole, and then we're going to be done. And just like that, the other one was removed and the new one is installed. I would highly recommend Cascade pods for your dishwasher because they're super simple just to put in. Like I said, nice little pod. You open up your dishwasher, you open up your little place where you keep your soap, push it in, close it, and that's it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button because I come out with DIYs, things to do around the house on a weekly basis. Again, guys, my name is Chris. Thank you so much for watching.